2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nine, 8, 7. Hey, Steve Ratty.
5, 4, 3.
All right, it's 7:30 on this Tuesday night. That means it's time to find out if you like it or not. I'm producer Chris, and tonight we're talking about micro bangs, wedding parties, hotel bathrooms, pizza, and much more. And of course, I want to know if you guys like it or not for each of those stories and more. So let's talk about how you guys can join us live to weigh in and share your opinions. You see the graphic right there, a lot of different ways to do it. We're streaming. If you're watching on YouTube, you can leave some comments in the chat. We'll check those and read them coming up a little later. If you're watching on the Fox Local app on your connected TV, you can make it a two-screen experience. Just grab your phone, scan that QR code, join the Zoom room, and get your hot takes ready. If you're watching on our website, fox5dc.com, or you're watching Fox Local on your phone and you can't scan the QR code, I have it pinned at the top of my Instagram profile, Fox 5 Producer Chris, Fox 5 Producer Chris. Also on TikTok, that's where we're live behind the scenes right now. Thank you to everyone who's swiping through in the process, including Beth, Darren, Grayson, and more. Also on Instagram, we have our broadcast channel. I didn't post anything in there today, but sometimes we do it to get the conversation going. We also post the Zoom room link in there as well, so you can find it if you want to join. We'll say hi to all of our virtual co-hosts in just a second, including Allison, Freddie, Chad, Laura, and more. We're also standing by for our friend Tony P. It's Tuesday, so that means it's Tony P Tuesday here on Do You Like It or Not. He just wrapped, he's had a busy day here at Fox 5. He did the Take It 2. He just finished the 7 o'clock version of Like It or Not. Now he's here for Do You Like It or Not, Like It or Not. And then at 9 o'clock, he's back here with me for the Live Zone primetime. Tony P, how you doing?
Well, with swear words, it'd be do you freaking like it or not? I'll tell you that.
That is true. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. Kids swearing, whether parents like it or not. A topic I'll have to face one day. As of right now, I have not censored myself in front of my 16-day-old or whatever she is these days. Tony P.
Jeez.
Tony P. rocking the stubble tonight.
A little bit.
He's been so busy he didn't have time to shave.
I get it. Listen, I want to look a little bit older, number one, more sophisticated. And I got to tell you, this is my limit. So tomorrow I'll shave. Because like, I can't get it much more because then it gets itchy. You don't want that.
Have you ever seen the movie Roman Holiday with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn?
No.
There's a famous scene, and I'm not going to recreate it with you, but was it Gregory Peck or was it Cary Grant? If you know out there, remind me. Either way, one of them, she puts her finger in his chin dimple and says, "How do you shave in there?" It's a classic scene. Remind me.
It's hard, by the way.
It's Gregory Peck. Thank you, Jim.
Gregory Peck, you know, that accent, you know, that deep southern drawl, but it's very like...
Gregory Peck, also famous for his role as Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird, written by Harper Lee, which, again,
Harper,
when we named our baby Harper, there were several people who were like, "Oh, I've never heard that name before." Kind of a classic.
That's a great
novel.
name. Oh my God, it's a
well,
wonderful
very
book.
Much. She's not named for Harper Lee, but you know, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Love that.
Gregory Peck. All right.
The man.
All right. We've gone off the rails already here.
Yes.
This is not at all what I intended to talk about. But are you ready to dive into what we are talking about?
I'm ready to dive and swim and claw and scratch.
We are about 3 weeks into 2026 already, which seems shocking. It has
feels like a year
by, but the list of what's in and what's out, they are still trickling out. And the latest comes from Marie Claire magazine. That's what we're talking about tonight, and they have just declared it. You see the headline right now. 2026 is the year of the microbang. The year, Jim's not a fan. He's on the audio board over there. Now, bangs have traditionally, Tony P., if you're not aware, been associated with a major life event, particularly sometimes breakups. The magazine says, however, they're not that deep, all right? Get over that. They are now less about an existential crisis and more about just being cute. As proof, they offered up stars like Zendaya, Beyonce, Miley Cyrus, and the one and only Pamela Anderson, all rocking the look. So Tony P., I know this isn't necessarily something you're going to be rocking, but the idea of making the microbang a thing, do you like this or not?
I actually like it because you know what? It's subtle. It's kind of a different design change from, you know, the straighter haircut or just a full bang. You know what? You want to try something out first? You do a little mini. You see how that works out. Then you go to the full shebang if you want to do that.
The full shebang. Our opinions mean nothing on this topic. So let's ask an expert. Allison, the microbang, do you like this, in or out? And I mean, this is a major commitment because that's not exactly, you gotta wait for that to grow out, right?
Correct. I think it is absolutely horrible. Only super rich people should be able to rock this look because going down the street, they would not be cute. It just reminds me of, you know, when my brother took my Barbie doll and just chopped the hair straight across it. Maybe I'm having flashbacks when I see that, but no, that's not a look that I would ever do.
Yeah, I feels like Marie Claire is setting people up and doing them dirty by suggesting that they do this because they might like it for a day, they may even like it for a week. But when it hits that awkward stage, Chad, I'm going to go right over your shoulder and I'm going to go right to Laura. Laura, any thoughts on the microbang?
I lost my beat.
Hey, she got laryngitis. And I was about to say, it's been the best week. It's been the best week ever. I mean, this has been terrible.
God.
Terrible. I feel so bad. We do have opinions. First of all, Tony P., I think I told you to pass mustache a la Tom Selleck.
I bet he could rock it.
Magnum
no
PI,
yeah.
I could listen.
All right.
That's a role model for me. Now you're testing me. I think I'm ready for this.
Microbang, that sounds like our sex life.
I knew that was coming. I knew it.
That was well done.
We popped up David. Jim popped up David just to cut Chad's mic.
Oh, come on, that
David,
was
I'll spare
funny.
you from any major thoughts on the micro bang, okay? Because while micro bangs are in, apparently wedding parties are out. And we're not talking parties like, like throwing a party. We are
Right.
talking about like bridal parties and groomsmen, at least according to a new survey by The Knot. Wedding planners blame the decline on couples who are becoming increasingly financially conscious. It can be expensive to have a big wedding party because it just adds to the guest list. Choosing to forego traditional bachelor and bachelorette parties can also help not only keep wedding costs down, but offer less logistical headaches. A lot of times people are traveling from all over the country for these sorts of things. The cost to be a bridesmaid or a groomsman also skyrocketing. More and more people are saying no to the invitation, especially if it requires traveling or time off. We've talked about that before, what that price limit would be for you to turn down that wedding invitation. But Tony P, ditching the wedding party, do you like this or not?
Absolutely not. Listen, I'm as liberal as they get, okay? But some things need to stay traditional. I think having a nice big wedding party, having a small, but just have at least a little bit of a bachelor and bachelorette party just to get everybody motivated and excited and have those memories. And if you want to save on cost, make the venue a little bit smaller, have the guest list from the, I would say, the civilian guests who are not in the party, I'll call them that, okay? Make that smaller, and don't do these dumb destination weddings that jack up the cost for everybody, okay? Make it affordable, keep it smaller, but still have those nice traditions that surround the wedding. Come on, again, I'm very open to anything. But let's keep a little tradition in some parts of this world.
Okay, I mean, now let's imagine a future scenario where Tony P is walking down the aisle, the blushing bride that he would be. What is a good size? I mean, you have a lot of friends and you've got a lot of acquaintances. What is a respectable size for your wedding party on your side?
I think for my side, it'd be probably five.
Five,
Five
okay.
people. So one best man, four groomsmen or,
Okay.
or ushers, whatever they want to call
What
it.
if your future blushing bride was like, oh, I have 10 people that I need to have standing beside me
Yeah.
during the ceremony? Are you going to pad your stats at that point and add 5 more, or are you going to stick with that 5?
Oh, I'll pad the stats because it'll cause less controversy at the wedding. Oh, I got left
Smart
out.
man
This way.
already, smart man
and
already.
I have many different spheres of influence now. I have back home, I have high school, college, I have here at Fox, I have friends in D.C. I got to spread the wealth a little bit. So again, the backbenchers are going to make it onto the full
Yeah,
team.
that's how I ended up one of my friends' groomsmen. They just needed to pad the stats, and they
right.
said,
Hey.
you're in.
I need you to join me.
David, we saw you last, so we'll give you first say on this. The idea of these wedding parties being less of a thing these days. Do you like this or not?
I do not like it. You got to keep wedding parties. By the way, producer Jim was correct on the last thing. Short bangs are terrible, but you have to. If like you said, Chris, there's when you're short. When one side is short on the wedding party, then it's normally the other side. Typically, like the groom, it tends to be shorter on the number in a wedding party, and then the bride side sends over to. I have been in a couple weddings from the bride side, in one of the groomsmen from the bride side. Yeah, it's a nice tradition, and like there needs to be the VIPs, the aristocracy at a wedding, and that is your wedding party.
That is your
That's a
wedding party.
great way to put that. The aristocracy, and then the civilians are the regular
and then
guests.
everybody else. Exactly. Allison, do you agree with David? Do you agree with Tony P?
Yeah, I think it's nice to have a wedding party if it's something that fits in your budget. It looks right, it looks nice. I didn't do it. My wedding party was small, my marriage was small. It worked out the way it was supposed to work out. So I guess maybe that's why. Maybe my wedding party wasn't big enough.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, to David's point, I've been that groomsman that's escorting 2 bridesmaids down the aisle.
Really?
Because it was such a mismatch. Freddie, do you like the idea of getting rid of the wedding party, the bridal party, the groomsmen, and just keeping it the bride and groom?
Actually, well, I gotta say, I disagree with that. And first of all, I want to say welcome back to producer Chris.
Thank you
Good to
very
see
much.
Tony P,
Yeah.
welcome back.
Good to see you, my friend. How we
Good to see
doing?
you. And I'm doing great. And also, for wedding parties, based on what you said, no more wedding parties, I disagree with that. Everybody should have a wedding party.
Okay.
Because depends on the budget, how they can afford. It depends on what the party will be, but just make it affordable. I would
Wouldn't
say
that
just
be
make it
nice?
affordable.
Yep.
Wouldn't that
Because
be
don't
nice?
spend like extra money for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think it's that much.
I ran into the sort of situation for my own wedding party, my groomsmen, where I have 2 brothers and my best friends are twin brothers. So it wasn't like I could pick one of each and try to keep it small that way. But all four were in. So I actually was mismatched on the groom side. My wife had 3 and I had 4. So, but I'm okay with that because they were the 4 most important people in my life.
Exactly.
All right. Also a thing of the past, not just wedding parties, but apparently free returns. We touched on this a little bit before the holidays, but Retail Boss says more and more retailers are now rolling out handling fees, thresholds, and data-led risk scores to try and curb the cost of quote-unquote serial returners. So, data-led risk scores, what does that mean? That means they are tracking your shopping history and building a detailed profile of how often you buy things, what you keep, what you send back, and how quickly you do it. They then use that information to decide who gets flexibility when it comes to returns and who will pay extra. ASOS is one of the companies that will now show shoppers their, quote, personal return rate. This is for customers in the United Kingdom. Hasn't made its way here to the United States yet. The company calls it transparency and a sustainability move. So, Tony P., do you like this or not, or do you think it's a slippery slope? And I'm going to call out one person who's not necessarily watching right now and able to defend herself, but I'm going to do it anyway. Annie Mae. Because she has talked about before how she will order a bunch of outfits for work, but they might not all fit, they might not all work, so she'll send them back and she'll just keep the ones that do. So this could be the sort of thing that ends up costing her in the long run.
I mean, okay, for smaller retailers, I could see that argument, but if you're buying in bulk from Amazon, these major retailers that have huge profit margins, this is ridiculous. In an era of unaffordability, okay, we cannot have any more reasons to up the ante and add the cost because, again, you may not know what the size is. You may make a mistake, especially buying gifts. How is a risk score going to tell you the context of that purchase? I think this is just like Big Brother zoning in. It's kind of like DNA to track dogs and their feces now, okay?
I know, you guys talked about that in the 7 o'clock version.
I mean, we got to stop being so personalized. Shopping is a communal thing. We should not allow these companies to have that much data access. I'm sorry.
Allison, if you're shopping online, which so many people do, it makes it very difficult to know how that garment, for example, may fit you. So is it unfair of a company to then have that strict of a return policy that just because what you ordered and you liked didn't fit you, that then you're going to be penalized for having to send it back?
Well, I kind of understand both sides. It is quite a bit of a hassle, but there's also some professional scammers out here. Like if you ever watch Good Girls on Netflix, that's part of what they would do is buy a whole bunch of stuff, take it back, get the money back. Like there's a lot of scamming that gets involved with it. So I can see now they want to see if someone has like a chronic issue of doing that because there might be some type of pattern they're trying to see if it's been created, you know, just to keep from something fishy going on. So I understand why it's being done, but it's obsessive. It's very excessive.
Yeah, David, do you think this feels a little Big Brother-esque that they're tracking? I mean, it can't really be that big of a shock that they're tracking your shopping habits, but now using it to kind of either reward or penalize you as a result.
No, I was going to say, you know, like Tony P., you and I have agreed a lot over these months.
Yes, we have.
This is one where we're going to disagree.
Oh no!
Because and I'm going to speak. We're from different generations.
All right.
Your generation, I think, is spoiled on this one. I remember when there were no returns, or you know, like you want something and that's it. You're stuck with it. You know, we're living in this magical era. I don't know how companies have been able to do it except returns, free returns. Return as much as you want. Return within 30 days. It has been such an amazing policy and something that people should appreciate. They probably take for granted. But returning, like having to either pay a penalty for a return or not being able to accept a return. I mean, I don't know how businesses have been able to get by without doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really a result, and to that point of sustainability, the rise of fast fashion. All of these companies that just churn out all of these products. People just buy them with no idea whether they're going to like them, whether they're going to fit, whether they're trendy, and I think that speaks to kind of like, you know, back in the day, David's day and my day and, you know, a lot of other people's day, you know, you shopped, you had a smaller closet, but more maybe nicer things.
Right now,
you know what I
here's
mean?
my-
That you maybe
yeah.
put a little more time, effort, and money into as a result.
I get that. Now, here's my solution. Okay, I used to work in retail for 4 or 5 years, and we had a small mom and pop shop. We would have things that were final sale. So maybe for clothing items or technology items that are lower cost or lower price, that have maybe a lesser margin, then go with a final sale opportunity and label that and say you can't return it at the outset. Don't screw the customer on the end of it.
I think what this means is that Facebook Marketplace and sites like that is going to be a gold mine.
That's a great
of
point.
people trying to then resell the
Yeah.
things that they can't return or are going to get charged to return. So in an attempt to make their full money back, they're going to try and sell it for full price or, you know, a discount. Anyway,
I think
next
it's a cool
up.
show.
Yeah, I know, right?
On Facebook Live, do like a show about TBC.
Listen, not to go down another rabbit hole,
Sorry.
but Facebook Marketplace, you can find some phenomenal crap.
You can, and
I found
seriously.
on Facebook Marketplace, I didn't buy it, and I kicked myself every day for
Are
it.
you sure?
Some of those old school Pizza Hut, like Tiffany style lamps.
No, you did not.
That used to
pass
like
on
hang over the booths. And oh my God, if I owned the house that I lived in right now, I probably would have pulled the trigger. All right.
I'm gonna do
Anyway.
an '80s office in my. I want to do like an '80s like Stranger Things style, like late '80s style. I might do.
He's
some
obsessed.
Facebook. I
He's
might do
5
some
years,
Facebook.
10 years late to the party, but the kid is obsessed with Stranger Things
I
now.
would
He's
have been
already
great
living in
in
the
that
past.
era.
You would have in the 80s?
Oh, 1988. I would have been the hero. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
With my fake suits. and
Back
all
to the
that.
future days. Next up, a heads up before you book that next hotel room,
Right.
especially if you enjoy a sense of privacy, because some hotels are now stripping away the only thing separating man from the animal. We are talking about the bathroom door. The Wall Street Journal reporting that rather than a fully closable, opaque barrier between the restroom and the bedroom, more and more rooms are going with the dreaded sliding barn door, the curtain, the strategically placed wall, or other replacements that aren't as proficient in, quote, the art of the noise and smell containment. Some cases, they're not even good at hiding the view. We're talking like the low wall that's just in front of the toilet. Tony P, ditching the bathroom door, do you like this or do you not?
I gotta tell you, this is about the stench that comes from the bathroom. Okay, number one, I don't want to smell that through the door. I don't want it oozing. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to taste it. Number two, okay, when you're on a romantic vacation, hanging out with a significant other, a special person, I don't really want to have that smell being there. It's the anti-aphrodisiac, and I'd like to not see any of that going on, especially, you know, when your partner's on the toilet reading through Facebook or whatever, reading a newspaper. Don't want to see that either. So no, this is like a total turn
That's how you get to know a person.
No!
Tony P. That's how you find the one. That's true love right there.
Through
If you can
stench
share
and
that
seeing
hotel
that.
room that has a sliding barn
Yeah,
door
okay.
with a 6-inch gap in between.
Oh, wonderful.
Where you have to tell the other person, listen, it's going to get weird, it's going to get interesting real fast. Chad and Laura, they're the couple in the Zoom room right now.
Yeah. Hey, Tony P, when you're truly and deeply in love, like Laura and I, we embrace each other's stenches. So we well, have I gone too far again?
That's funny.
Is Jim going to ban me? Am I?
New meaning to up close and personal.
Here's the line, and Chad is
I would-
several steps.
I started
But
this.
Look,
Don't
we have
ban me.
all
My
been.
fault.
We have all been in that situation, and it's not just in a romantic sense. I have shared rooms with guys where we have
Oh,
gone
man.
to hotels,
Even worse.
and you're like, "Are you kidding me?" With this scenario, in what
That's
world?
totally different, Chris. That's weird. That's really weird, Chris.
Well, look, we weren't on a anyway. I've seen it all at this point, and I understand a lot of times when it comes to like the barn doors, it's a matter of space.
I was,
Okay,
in a touring band, so yeah, I get what you're
You've seen
saying.
it all too,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
I can imagine. Allison, these modern ways of saving space in these hotel rooms or getting interesting or clever with the bathroom situation. Do you like it or not?
To me, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. I used to travel a lot when my son played travel basketball, so I was with all of my kids all the time. You know, it was never an issue, but I would think maybe in a dating situation, initially it could start a little uncomfortable, but like you said, that's how you get to know your mate. You're going to be closer to them than that one day if that's who you want to be with. So.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I've also been in a situation where I've been like, you know what, I'm going to run down and get a cup of coffee, and then you use the one down at the end of the hallway.
Call.
That's
Yes.
like more of the public one. We've all been there.
It's
All
his
right.
and hers sinks for a reason.
Tony P. All right, keep the comments coming on all these stories we've talked about so far. Coming up next, letting your kids curse. Do you like it or not? There's a new survey out that might be surprising for the parents out there. Plus, hot take dating. We're going to get Tony P's thoughts on that. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Do You Like It or Not on this Tuesday night. This is the part of the show where we like to check those YouTube comments. So let's see what people are. Oh, there's a lot tonight. Let me see if I can get to some of these. Laura says, I'm going to be in my first ever wedding party next year, so don't call them off before then. Yeah, that's fair. I respect that. West Virginia Ben hates microbangs, and if a wedding party is for you, you do you. A few bad apples have messed up returns for all of us. Very true. Laura goes on to say, when were there no returns? The mid-1900s? All right, anytime you reference the 1900s, it is the most insulting thing you can say. All right, there's no such thing as a romantic vacation without learning your partner's pooping habits. Okay,
Yikes.
if anyone
That's a
out
great
there
visual
knows
to
what a
have.
Pittsburgh toilet is,
Oh, geez.
let me know, because I have a lot of stories about bathrooms in my day. I grew up in a house that had a Pittsburgh toilet, even though I was in Philadelphia, and then I went to a high school that did not have doors on the bathroom stalls. So
Oh,
you had to do all. So
jeez.
these newfangled hotel room
Oh,
bathrooms got
God.
nothing on what I have had to deal with.
That's luxury now.
Prison style. All right, let's go into our next story. And if Melissa was in the Zoom room, Melissa might give us a hell no on this next story, because a new study shows more and more U.S. parents are okay with their kids using four-letter words, cursing. According to a study by the C.S. Mont Children's Hospital, 47% of parents maintain a hard line against kids using curse words. 35% say it depends on the situation. Researchers also found that nearly 1 in 4 parents admitted their child swears, at least occasionally, with the rate jumping to 37% among teenagers. More than half believe they are the reason they are responsible for their child's colorful vocabulary. Others believe they do it to fit in or to get attention. So Tony P, 4-year-olds, 14-year-olds using those four-letter words, do we like it or not?
Well, look, it makes kids more efficient because you can use swear words as adjectives, as verbs, as adverbs, nouns. So you know what? They're learning the well-rounded efficiency angle of that. I think also they had a few studies come out in December and November where they said swearing actually is good for your confidence. It makes you, I guess, smarter and more relaxed, and it increases productivity. So maybe this is the response to that is, hey, there's some benefits beyond just relief of stress.
Very possible.
So look, I mean, the country's already going downhill anyway. Why not just add this to the list where the kids are now going downhill too? Because have you seen some of the classroom behavior?
I mean,
just let it all hang out at this point. You know what? Because
David, has Alex dropped any F-bombs, any four-letter words, and is it tolerated? Is it immediately put an end to?
Let me see if I can say this discreetly. But he has said some things he shouldn't have on occasion. Some of it's been my fault. Some of it's been mommy's fault. Some of it's been other families' fault. We tried to squelch it down. You know, it's too early for him. There will come a time. There's a time and place for everything, to include swearing. No time soon for Alex.
Okay, that
good.
makes total sense.
Good.
Yes,
I like
my
that.
mom always said, you know, as someone who uses words and talks for a living, I should be able to use another word instead. I haven't always been as good at that as she would have hoped. Allison, you have raised children. Have they dropped some F-bombs, some four-letter words in the past, and has it been okay, or is it a bar of soap in the mouth like Ralphie in A Christmas Story?
oh God.
No, you know what? I'm actually pretty chill with it. My youngest son, he's 15 now, but one day he came home and he's very respectful, very polite, and asked me if he could tell me a story and use curse words. And I said, okay. And it's because he was harassed and somebody upset him and he just wanted to get it out. But that's not the way he speaks on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you just ask permission, come on, let's curse it out. And then he was fine.
I like that. That's a
I
good
like that
strategy.
too. Yeah,
like having
I love
a
that
boundary.
too.
That's really smart.
Exactly, and then it's not so heat of the moment
Or taboo.
because I think sometimes that's what takes people by surprise. All right, let's wrap up talking about hot take dating because I teased it. It looks like 2026 coming in hot because hot take dating is the new trend. It's exactly what it sounds like. Encourages daters to get as upfront and honest as possible about their viewpoints, especially their most controversial ones right up front. The logic of it is that by sharing your most controversial opinions early on, you'll more efficiently filter out people who are or are not a good match for you. So Tony P, hot take dating, do you like it or not?
I think it's smart because you know what? It gets your values up front. It does it in a funny way. It's really, you're putting yourself out there, you're being vulnerable, and you're doing kind of a fun way. It's a little bit, hot take. It's kind of spicy. And I think that's really interesting because you can really get some nuggets through that of what this person stands for, who they are. And the further we get in this new era and millennium, you'd call it, we are getting more about moral values every day when it comes to relationships. So, you know what? Get started in a funny way.
I think that this show could very easily morph into a dating show where it was
100%.
basically hot take dating. Michael's in the Zoom room tonight. Michael, the idea of hot take dating. Hang with me 1 second here, Michael. Hang tight. Michael, the idea of hot take dating, do you like it or not?
I don't have any. My exes was cursing me out before.
So there's your hot takes right there. Allison, hot take dating, getting it all out up front. Do you like it or not?
I've been doing that, Chris, and they still run away from me, so they can't handle the realness. That's all
Can't
good.
handle the truth. All right, thank
don't
you
be in the kitchen.
to everybody who joined us in the Lion Zoom room tonight. Once again, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you again back here tomorrow night, same time, same place. Tony P and I will be back at 9 o'clock right here on Fox Local and Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. We're talking comedy. We are talking snow on the way.
Can't wait.
And we are talking about a Super Bowl auction that Burgundy and Gold fans will love. Fox 5 News at 8 is next.